Now, before I wanted to be an actor, I dreamt about becoming a marine biologist. As a kid, I always had a fascination with the ocean and its wildlife. In fact, the first philanthropic dollar I ever contributed was to save the wild manatee in Florida. I'd never seen a manatee before, but I somehow felt connected to the plight of these animals who had no voice and no ability to save themselves from the devastation caused by human activity. Today, I feel just as connected and inspired by ocean life that covers most of our planet. As an avid diver, I've been fortunate enough to experience some of the most pristine and wild places on Earth. From my very first dive in the Great Barrier Reef to the Galapagos to Mozambique, Belize, and the islands of Thailand. And just last year, I got to visit Cocos Island, a national park off the shores of Costa Rica, where I had the opportunity to swim with 15 different species of shark, white tips, tiger sharks, and hammerheads in one of the world's largest natural shark sanctuaries. And I came out unscathed. These experiences haven't just been adventures, they've been educational for me. They've taught me just how fragile these ecosystems really are. Since my very first dive in the Great Barrier Reef in Australia 20 years ago, to the dive I got to do in the very same location just 2 years ago, I've witnessed environmental devastation firsthand. What once had looked like an endless underwater utopia is now riddled with bleached coral reefs and massive dead zones. And while we've heard a lot about the impacts of climate change on dry land, the oceans will be the sink that absorbs the brunt of our pollution and the danger of higher temperatures. This is especially troubling since oceans are the source of most of our oxygen and life-giving nutrients on this planet. They dictate our climate, our weather patterns, and ultimately our own survival. Without healthy oceans, we are in serious trouble, and the outlook for their health is not good. We're plundering the ocean and its vital resources, and just because we can't see the devastation from dry land does not mean it's any less dangerous to life on Earth, and it has to stop. You've all heard the bad news about the accelerated collapse of the West Antarctic ice sheet recently, which is incredibly scary. And you've probably heard about the growing concern in the scientific community about the methane emissions driving rapid climate change and ocean acidification. Methane is a greenhouse gas far more damaging than carbon dioxide. There seem to be new stories every week about methane's potential to send us beyond critical tipping points. Yet these important stories are but a blip on the screen in mainstream media. What we need is a constant drumbeat about these tragedies unfolding before our very eyes, and more attention towards the solutions that exist to avert them. Most importantly, what we need is action, sustained activism, and courageous political leadership. We cannot afford to be bystanders in this pre-apocalyptic scenario. We have to become the protagonists in the story of our own planet's salvation. We need to step up now. Now, the good news is we can do this together. Thank you very much from me, from the wildlife in our ocean that has no voice, from the billions who depend on the abundance that the ocean must continue to provide, and from all of us, and from the generations to come, whom I hope will experience, just as we have, the beauty and abundance of our oceans. Thank you.